Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or how about Nene and Greg Leaks? You know what I said, though? I've seen them on the show, and I was like, yes, come on. Get married, divorce, get married again, love.
Yeah.
Black love is black love, y'all. I think a few episodes, Neron was saying, black love is complicated, and this is a no judgment-free zone. So shout out to Nene and Greg Leaks, all right? Mm-hmm. So they done had their love on television. They done broke up with each other. They done got back with each other. They done been in love. They done got new faces, new bodies, new whatever. But it's just something about their love that I appreciate, especially Greg. He remind me of that old school. I can't even put my finger on it. But do you know what I'm talking about? Like, he just that old school type of love. Yeah. And then Nene is just this new school, like, honey, I'm not here for it. But somehow they meet in the middle.
Greg is like an OG when it comes to love and the shit. He kind of almost reminds me of a younger version of Papa.
Yeah, I could see that. Like the way he be trying to talk and stuff like that. Yeah, like a young version. Mm. But the thing is, I don't know how he got Nene, though. I think that's the complicated part. But maybe this is, maybe Nene is her, it's not maybe, it is her, public persona. Mm. And she might be a whole different chick when them cameras go down, eyelashes come off, wigs and waist trainers come off. She might be a whole different girl. She might be in that kitchen cooking ham hocks, hog moss.
And fried chicken.
Come on. It might be a whole different perception. But, just shout out to their love and how they put it all out there. I think that's the definition of putting it all out there, the good, bad, and ugly, and knowing when to say when. So I think this idea of knowing when you need a divorce and knowing when it's okay to come back together, because I think that takes courage too. I always tell folks who are willing to get a divorce to say it ain't working, that takes a lot of courage. And then you add more icing on that to say, well, all right, we need a divorce. Let's be apart. Let's grow. And then you come back together and get remarried.
That's black love at its best.
That's black love at its best. So I know a lot of times folks say one thing, but do another, but shout out to them. So they've known each other for over 17 years. They have two sons. So one from a previous marriage and then a 13-year-old son. And in the interview, they said, we divorced after 15 years. And Greg has been out here supporting her ever since. I think it's a great thing because we know each other very well. She also went on to say, we have divorced, so there's nothing else to argue about. And she laughed. It's hot. That is true, though. She said, we divorced. We said, what we going to say? We said, I said what I said. It says, when you're married, you argue over certain things. Once you got divorced, literally, there was nothing to argue about. I think we became good friends again. It's during our marriage, we had gotten to a place where we weren't friends anymore. We almost got to a place where we didn't like each other. Come on. I think they touched on that in the Black Love Dot, the idea of liking each other and arguing and all that good stuff. Yeah. So, again, shout out to Nene and Greg Leaks. Who is you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 48.
Yes. Happy Monday, y'all. We back at it again. These days are flying by. Yeah. Fast weeks, long days.
Yeah.
Is that the way to define it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, it's already Monday.
It's weekend Monday.
Flew.
How was y'all weekend?
Hopefully good.
Y'all doing anything interesting?
Yes.
Well, if y'all didn't, be sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And follow us on all forms of social media at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's black with no K. Baby, what you got?
Well, my weekend was fast. Like I said, I worked a lot this weekend. I guess the two things I can sum up is Netflix and work.
No chill.
No. Are you putting me out there like that? What are you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying you didn't chill. You Netflix didn't work.
Okay. Be careful, Nero. Be very, very careful. But yes, I just basically was beds, chips, and unproductive. That's how I would describe my home life. Mm. Like I feel like I was not productive personally. Or I guess professionally. I don't know what the work I was professionally on. But I just didn't do anything. Like I was just kind of relaxed, I guess. And no, it wasn't even relaxing. Have y'all ever had when you're unproductive, you're not doing anything, but you're not relaxed? Mm-hmm. Like my mind, my body, none of that was relaxed. It was just almost like I was just going through the motions. So this weekend, I just didn't feel like my battery was recharged. So that was really weird. But y'all know at the bot store, folks is dropping life flies, honey. I had another, one of my upper level supervisors go on vacation for a couple weeks. They done came in on their vacation talking about I'm leaving. That's bold, ain't it?
That's what you got to do.
They said, bye. And I'm looking like, Well, Nyambi says she only working 25 hours. So however y'all gonna divide that up.
You know, that's how they be. You enjoy that life when you're not at work.
Mm-hmm.
And you be like, you know what? I fucking hate this place.
What?
I can do bad by my own damn self.
Yeah.
Fuck this place.
And they gone. So, like I said, folks is dropping like flies. And I don't know what, I guess you would call it the upper level management. They oblivious. So I guess they more used to turn around like this. So usually I'm more used to a more traditional cubicle corporate setting where folks just don't flip like this. Like, you know, it's a process when folks leave. But I guess at the box it's a little different.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're not just talking about cashiers. Like, we talk about like upper level folks. The people don't know how to do their job. So they leave. And I'm like, how do you do this? They're like, oh, and so did that. I said, they don't work here no more.
They gone. They gone to the Savior.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They going to the Savior box boy store in heaven. They done left. They come back here to shop. And they be like, oh, okay. They just gonna walk away. I was like, is there a secret manual book somewhere that folks just go read? Like, it's just a different, there's a different level of turnover. And then when we don't know how to do something, it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
Oh, learn on your own.
And
Good
I'm
luck.
like,
May the odds be in your favor.
yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I'm right behind their asses too, honey. They just have no idea. Other than that, I just been talking with my parents because actually they celebrated their wedding anniversary earlier this week. And originally they were supposed to go to like Aruba with some of their friends, but you know, with the storm Irma and Jose, all of them came and showed the fuck out, so they canceled that. So they decided to do like a last minute trip to Vegas, and they had like a good time. They was young, they was hanging out, doing their thing, right? But they did what I told them not to do. They went on that Spirit. I said, don't you get on Spirit. Spirit is the mega bus of the sky. And I don't know why people continue to give their money to Spirit, because Spirit don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your luggage or none of the above. My dad on that team, but my mom, she's like, I'm in the rewards club. I said, no, Spirit is the devil.
What's that, the $2 reward club?
The 50-cent reward club.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called. $9. I don't know what it is. But getting there was fine, I guess, but it was coming home. So it was coming home. They had a nice midday flight. And originally, Spirit sent them an email to say we're an hour delayed. Then they sent another email to say, oops, we just playing. Here go $20. We ain't delayed. Then they get to the airport and they say, oh, we is delayed. And so from there, I think my parents and their friends went to go get something to eat. Not even something to eat, to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And then in that 10 minutes it took them to go to the bathroom to come back, the flight was already boarded. And the gate was closed.
Damn.
And my parents was like, it's people in the jetway. They was like, oh, well, we can't do it. They was like, you did this in 10 minutes. But the thing, it wasn't just them. If it was just them, I was like, well, all right, y'all got to move when it's time to go. They left about 20 to 25 people there. And so when the plane closed, they all went down and was cussing and fussing. And they talking about what the person said, that they called everyone's name. It was no one on the jetway. And they was like, you a motherfucking lie. Like, you know, these folks going from Vegas to Detroit.
Right.
You a motherfucking lie. That bitch a lie. And so they had to wait to the red eye that same day to head out. And some of them people didn't get out till a day or two later. Because, you know, not only did they miss them on the plane, but they were still recouping from all the hurricanes and stuff that was grounded too. So I was like, you know, you get what you pay for. That's why I shout out to JetBlue. JetBlue is my favorite airline.
Yeah, mine too.
You know, that Spirit. They be something else. I don't know if I would did it if the person told me that. We ain't doing it.
I can't fuck with that. Like,
Like,
when
why
you
would you
told me
leave
that,
20 people behind?
when you told me that, your parents just had to, man, because they don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They don't. Because
I
it
think
ain't nothing
they-
you can say. Let me speak to your manager. He don't give a fuck either.
Yeah, we all can get in line for you. We all can get in line for you. I don't know why it is. Is they hiring process off?
No, I think
a
this
whole-
is I think it's their personality. It's their whole persona. Like, they just don't give a fuck.
The bare, what's it called? The bare minimum?
bare
minimum,
fucking
minimum
minimum.
fare. So you can get on this plane and put on the seatbelt.
And the thing is, you can't pick your seat. We pick your seat.
We pay you. I mean, you got to pay us.
You pay to pick a seat. You
You
pay for a carry-on.
You pay to wear clothes. You pay for water, ice, and air.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Oh, I don't even know how they did it from Vegas to
I
Detroit.
think it was nonstop.
God, still
Oh no, not on Spirit.
you in the mega bus in the sky, so you ain't getting no.
I guess you buy your own shit.
Ain't getting no snacks.
No, I mean, well, I don't eat a lot of snacks on the plane. I bring my own snacks.
You
on
get
the plane.
no water.
No water. I don't
No.
like that plain water though, unless it's in a sealed bottle.
No on-flight entertainment.
Oh, now that's hard.
Wi-Fi costs you $55.
What you talking? 55, 100.
And it don't even be good Wi-Fi.
So I don't know. Like flying, I'd be very particular about that. Anyway, Naren, what's going on with you?
I'm doing good. You know, by the time y'all hear this, I'll already be in Miami. So,
Good. Shout out. Hopefully, sunny
hey,
weather.
me
And
too. I
meeting your
looked
new
at it.
colleagues.
It's
and all
gonna
that
be
good
a
stuff.
hot 88 degrees.
Oh Lord, what you wearing?
Shorts.
Okay, yes, I know. I hope.
It's shorts.
I hope you don't go down there, Massachusetts black with a corduroy and a vest and a fleece and a cardigan, honey. I hope not.
So you know, I had to pull out my summer clothes.
Oh, did you say pull out? You
Yeah.
don't put away your summer clothes already?
Yes, because you know it's starting to get cold here. I told y'all cuffing season is upon us because I went out there and I had to put on my hoodie one day.
Just one day. You know how I get up here. Like, it'll be days where it's 50, then it go 80. It's like it's back and forth.
Yeah.
Mother Nature going through menopause.
I
It'll be
understand
80,
that.
then 50.
I understand that, but you know, once you pull out your hoodie, you might as well put away your summer clothes. So I didn't put them away. So I got to find me. I had to pull up my swimming trunks. So I said, I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach, child. Even if it's for 2 hours, I will be there.
I mean, you should have time because you can either get up super early or go when. Because how do your days go?
Well, you know, I'm actually booked. So
Remember at Kelly Price?
they got me booked.
They don't got you like a 9 to 5?
Something like that.
Well, you
So
got time before or after?
they pick me up at the airport at 9, and then we go until about 5, and there's like a 2-hour break, and then they pick me up again for like dinner,
Oh, gotcha. Oh, we
And
got your
then-
2-hour break.
and then you know whatever happens at the dinner, and then the next day on Tuesday, they got me waking up again and getting picked up by 9 o'clock, and then we work for about from 9 to 11. And then she take me to the airport. So I'm like, damn, they got me working. They got me working. And I was like, can we get one of these planes? Can we get a flight later? Can I extend something?
Can I breathe?
I would love to
You gonna come back
enjoy
tired.
everything Miami has to offer me, but
Nope.
not this time.
Yeah.
Other than that, so Naomi got a giggle out of this shit, y'all. You know, we got a godson. He's 2, about to be 3. Ooh, that he growing. So it's 11:30ish. I'm winding down. Naomi done came home from work, so we in the bed having a little pillow talking, and then I get this phone call. It's my godson parents, and I'm like, I'm sleepy. I'll just call them back. And Naomi's like, no, you need to pick up. It's late. You don't know what's going on. I'm like, nah, babe. Like, I'll just call them in the morning. So I pick up the phone, and then it's like, somebody want to speak to you. I said, who is it? Hey, God Daddy.
Who you thought was the Lord?
God Daddy. I went to school today. And in my head, like, why is this ass still woke? It's 11:30.
Because he adjusted his sleep pattern and schedule.
No.
He adjusted.
No. And there's like, you know, we didn't expect you to answer the phone because we
They was
know.
counting on you not to.
We know how, you know, it's a little late for you. And you be prepping to go to sleep. You don't play around with that. I said, y'all, you're damn right.
Yeah.
And then here he comes talking about, hey, God Daddy. I'm like, why y'all just didn't be like, ring, ring? He didn't answer.
Just
So-
the kids got more sense. The kids know how to work the phones and stuff better than we do.
But that's the thing. Like, my mental wasn't ready to talk to a 2-year-old.
Why you say that?
I ain't know what the hell to talk to him. You know, I'm still in the phase with my godson that I don't know what the hell to say to him.
You just asked him how his day was going.
But how
And what
many
he do.
times?
And what he did, who he talked to, what he ate, what he played, what he learned. It's a simple question.
How many times can I ask what you doing? How you doing? I went to school today.
Okay.
Red car.
Okay.
Red car.
Uh-huh.
Red car. Ask me a question.
So who did you talk to?
Purple planes.
And then what y'all did?
Can I speak to Godmama? Godmama.
Now he don't want to talk to you no more.
Godmama. And I gave it to you, and you over here laughing like this shit is funny.
It's hilarious.
And then what? Hey, Godmama.
He's silly.
Godmama.
Yes.
Cars.
Oh.
Cars 3.
You know, I just have a conversation no matter what his answer is. I have my own conversation. I talk to my damn self.
Godmama and I be over here talking about, well, you know, what do you think about Jamila Hill and Donald Trump? And he like, Cars. Cars 3. I went to school.
Me too. I like school. I'm glad you like school.
So I was like, you know, y'all need to teach this kid the value of bank hours.
You know, silly stuff I'm talking about. Call during bank hours.
Call
You
me
never
during
no
bank
damn
hours where I'm alert.
No.
Because I was like, what the hell? What I'm talking to him for?
You don't know what. It's good. Keep you on your toes.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. It's
You know-
good to keep you on your toes.
So that's the thing. Like, I'm never good in this phase where they're like goo goo gaga or like just making
not
sense.
goo goo gaga.
But you know, he just making up sentences. You know, and he repeats the same stuff, and I understand like that's normal. But me personally, I don't know what else to say.
Step out your comfort zone.
Well, what I'm supposed to talk about? You know, what do you think about
the red? Say what color car you got? Gold.
Oh.
Gold car.
Oh,
so
we're just going back and forth.
Yes.
I seen the red car today. I seen the gold car today.
Yep.
I seen the red car today. I seen the gold car today.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No.
Lord. I done gave you the ideas. It's the fun that he gonna reach an age where you wish that he was talking about some fucking cars.
Instead, he gonna be talking about
bullshit. Fucking. Yes. That's some bullshit. So enjoy this time while he talking about cars and things we can relate. He talking about problems we can solve.
Cars.
Compared to some shit in a few years, we gonna be like, don't tell your parents. This is gonna be This is not gonna be our most ethical moments. Don't tell them. Just keep this between you and the Lord, coming from your godparents.
Lord,
tell that to the Lord.
Lord.
No.
Other than that, you know, the iPhone came out, you know, and I'm really a big iPhone buff, but I'm like, the iPhone 8 Plus, and iPhone Malcolm X can miss me on this one.
Hold on. What are they? Because you know, I just came to Team iPhone. I definitely was an Android person.
So you know, Apple dropped 3 phones. Well, you know,
3.
Yeah.
When?
Last week.
They out?
No, you know how they do they
lunch or
like their presentations and things of that sort.
What you get a whacker and whacker, honey?
Well, you know, ain't that gonna be like Steve Jobs?
I mean, shit, ain't nobody was taking notes.
I guess not. So you know, they came out with the regular procession. So you know, iPhone 7 is out. So they came out with the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then they came out with iPhone X.
How did we skip 9? Or is 9? Is that?
So they said iPhone.
No, that's not. It's 10.
Yeah. So the iPhone X or 10 is what to celebrate the 10th year anniversary of
So how do we miss 9?
Because they numberings got all fucked up.
Where is 9?
They numberings got all fucked up.
How did it get fucked up?
Because, you know, when the first iPhone came out, it was like iPhone 3G, and then it was like 3GS.
I thought 3G meant the network.
But that was a phone. Like it was just an iPhone 3G and an iPhone 3GS. Oh. So it was that type of shit that fucked up the numbering. And then, you know, you got the and then when they started adding the S, so like the 4S, the 5S.
Yeah.
You know, so hell, I don't know how many phones it's actually really been. 14, something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, iPhone Malcolm X is how I like to call it. Because they didn't add the X instead of 10. So this is supposed to celebrate the 10th year anniversary making iPhones and things of that sort. And, you know, some of the stuff is cool. It's a smaller frame.
Oh, so now it's going back small. Jesus.
You know, they got glass again. That's what to do, like wireless charging and things of that sort.
So now y'all can cut your fingers again. Now you can cut, you know, not only the front of the screen can be cracked, but the back of the screen can be cracked again. Money. What movie is that? More money, more money, more money.
That was in Living Color.
Oh, yeah. More money, more money, more money.
And so I think the thing that really freaks me out is the whole Face ID. So on the iPhone Malcolm X, they have it where, you know now you use a fingerprint to unlock the phone.
Yeah.
But now you can just put your face up.
Nero, I'm sorry to break it to you. Android done had that for years.
I know Android done had that for a while. And it freaked me the fuck out then too. But you know what? Y'all Android motherfuckers, y'all can miss me with that shit because
I have an iPhone now.
I get it, but y'all had them Androids and y'all be like, I got these features, and y'all don't even use them.
The difference is we do use them, but we don't have to go write a blog post about it when we use them, iPhone users.
Yes, y'all do.
Okay.
Or, you know, y'all should be all rickety and raggedy.
What?
Yeah. No. Y'all had them, yeah. Y'all have wireless charging, but the shit don't work that well.
Who said that?
Who said the face unlock?
Who said that?
Y'all had a face unlock shit, but the shit just don't work that well.
Okay.
You know, motherfuckers put a picture up of you and that shit unlocked versus the iPhone. You put a picture up, that shit be like denied.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that just really freaks me out, and I also think that whenever Apple does it, the world listens and moves in accord versus when Android do it. You motherfuckers be like, oh, okay.
Apple is turning into a white frat boy.
Meaning?
They just copy other people's work.
Well, don't all of them do that?
No, it's an originator in there somewhere that don't get. It's some person of color that don't get their props.
Oh, okay.
They props.
And you think it's Android?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
How much is it?
$1,000 and
what the fuck
for the iPhone.
No, that's what you should be scared of. Oh, so I'm never gonna get a new phone.
What you mean?
I'm not paying $1,000 to anybody for a phone.
Well, you'll just have to wait 3-4 years when the price go down.
Perfect.
So
$1,000 is niggas out here without transportation. It's niggas out here renting, and they're paying $1,000 for a phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That they gonna get switched out in 2 years?
Not even 2 years.
Like y'all niggas is sending us questions on how to buy a house. Turn in your fucking iPhone. That's damn near almost more than my mortgage. What sense did that? I'm about to go back to flip phones. How much is them?
I don't know. I don't even know if they have flip phones in the store anymore.
A 1,200. In what world is that? Okay.
Hell, that's big. That costs more than some computers out here.
That costs more than that costs more than some cars. There's some cars in Detroit you can buy for $1,200.
Yeah. Hell, my first car was $1,400.
Anybody I see with an iPhone, you have to have transportation. If you don't have transportation, I need to see at minimum $1,200 in your account, because you don't need to hold that phone if you don't have your phone. Don't need to be more than your net worth.
Well, the phone is their net worth, baby.
Jesus. And soon it's worse than a car. Soon as you take it out that box, that bitch plummet to $500. Right.
Oh, and then you got to buy a $200 case on it.
What? How much are the cases? I went to Marshall's and got mine for $10.
Yeah, but also your phone old, baby. Your phone like 4 generations behind.
But what is the phone case doing that costs $200? Are you serious? Well, how much is the case? I thought it was like $100.
No, I'm assuming it's a little bit more for that.
A $200 phone case.
Yeah, you're gonna get taxed because you got the iPhone Malcolm X.
What did the phone charge your phone? It don't matter. Charging the phone ain't enough. You just got to connect. You got to just find a power outlet. That ain't worth it.
So I'm just a little freaked out because of the Face ID stuff. Like, I know Android had it, but
Android had all this shit.
But the shit gets real when Apple get it. And
Apple don't have wireless charging.
They do now.
For the X or the 8?
For the Malcolm X.
When did they come out?
They come out like November. The iPhone Malcolm X come out in November. The other one I think comes out, or pre-order should be happening in a couple weeks, if not.
So they're gonna have 3 new phones come out.
Yeah.
So other than that, what's it just face recognition and wireless charging? What else is the? Because how much a phone costs now? About $800. So what is up with this $400 markup? What else is going on?
I don't know if I can have this conversation with you.
No, that's a legitimate question.
It's a smaller form factor than the 8 Plus.
What do you mean form factor?
So you know how the 8 Plus is big as hell in your hand?
Yeah.
So it's smaller.
A 7 Plus.
It's so smaller. Or yeah, whatever. 7 Plus, 8 Plus. So you know how it's smaller. Like the form factor is smaller, but the same screen size is the same.
So it look like a 3G.
Or something like that.
Apple got to do better.
Upgraded cameras, faster speed and all the other stuff.
All right. Y'all millennials continue to play with that. But like I said, don't let your iPhone be. You cannot have an iPhone if you don't have $1,200 in savings at minimum.
Okay.
That's the criteria.
You got any pillow talk?
Of course. Y'all watched the Black Love doc on OWN? Shout out to them. They got renewed for a second season.
Hey, that's what's up.
I'm excited to see the second season. As it progressed, I shouldn't say not a little, it got better, I think. Mm-hmm. I think right when they ended, it was like, oh.
Yeah, I want more.
I wish we started with that. Does that make sense? Like, I wish we started with that. I wish also we got maybe the filmmakers didn't want to be in it. I wish we would have got like their perspective a little bit. I know as they were kind of finishing up the last episode, they kind of gave their, not necessarily their love story, because I understand if they don't want to put their love story on blast. Mm-hmm. I hope they do eventually. But just more of the intention why. Because I know a lot of our initial questions was like, well, why this wasn't included or that?
Yeah.
Or certain demographics or certain populations were left out. But I think they did a better job of explaining their kind of intentionality behind the film after. And especially with documentary, sometimes it's hard to piece it all together.
Yeah.
But they just had us wait to the end of it. And season 2, maybe that's when they'll bring more of that diversity to the forefront and doing it and continue to do more. Because like we always say, Black Love is very complicated, is deep, it's layered, it's animated, it's beautiful, it's all that good stuff. So I'm just excited that it's something that's continuing to go on, and Queen Oprah allowed it to come back, because Queen Oprah will cancel some shit.
She sure will. You won't even hear about it.
You won't hear about it no more. Cancel. Keep telling y'all what Underground stop. Ain't nobody asked Oprah no more about Oprah Underground, did they?
Nope.
She said no.
I can't afford this shit. Well, I'm not paying $5 million.
It ain't said she couldn't afford it. She just said she ain't doing it, honey.
I ain't paying that shit.
Alrighty. So, Niram, you want to talk about some of your thoughts on the doc and some of the themes? Some of the themes that came up for me was this idea of cheating on the spouse. Like, damn, everybody cheating, honey?
Yeah.
Or everybody in the documentary. That's why you got to mean what you say and say what you mean early on. I think what surprised me but didn't surprise me, everyone that cheated, all the males cheated, and the females, or they didn't say it on camera, none of them cheated.
What's up for Mary?
She didn't cheat. She said, how did she say it real classy?
She said,
She said a classy, honey. That's a line I'm going to tell everybody to use.
I had somebody who wasn't mine.
Yeah. What? Well, that's a nice churchy way to say it.
Shit, that sounds like she cheated to me.
Yeah. No, it sounded like she was with a married man. That's how I took that. Say the line again.
I had somebody that I was with somebody that wasn't mine.
Yeah, it sounded like she was with a married man. But that don't mean, it sounded like she was a side chick. She sounded like she was SZA. That's how I took that. Like, not that she cheated. So it's two different things. So it's two sides of the cup when you're cheating. So it's when you're the person in a committed relationship and you step out, right? But it's also that person on the side, if they know you're in a relationship, they doing wrong too. Some people don't know, and if you don't know, I think you're in the clear. But if you know, that's how I took it when she said that person didn't belong to me, that man that she was with was married or in a committed relationship when she was with him. That's how I took it. Not that she cheated on, not that she was in a committed relationship at the time.
Well, I took it as she cheated.
Okay. But hold on. I was with someone who didn't belong to me. Come on, church. Let the church say amen. On today. Church, we got sayings that we be like, where you get those words from? So I thought that was interesting. What did you think of the I'm trying not to be petty, y'all, of the, I don't want to say excuses, the explanations that some of the men gave for when they started cheating?
I think it's very interesting that some of the things that really came up was like, I think, damn, what's the Mary dude? What's his name? Warren.
I almost said it, Lawrence. I'm sorry. Dog child.
That nigga is not Dark Child.
He is. He's living a double life.
And some of the things that he brought up, like I wanted my woman, I wanted my wife, and this whole notion of he could have been a boss and been like, I'm gonna go fly to you, but instead he wanted her to come to him. And
that
whole
churchy
notion.
shit though again.
No, but I really think there's in relationships where people be like, when I say jump, you sort of be like, how high? And I'm like, nah.
And there's some women out there that said, I will jump.
Yeah.
How high? Then I'll do a flip in the air.
Exactly. So I feel like he was on that, jump how high shit. And her ass is like, nigga, I'm on my career shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, well, let me go run through some hoes or something.
Amen. And what about that boy? What's his name from Insecure? That light skinned couple. I don't know their names.
Oh, I can't remember.
That's the other thing.
Insecure brother.
Put up their names every time they come on the screen.
Yes, because we be forgetting their names.
Yes.
I think for him and his whole cheating things, he was young, but
is that an excuse?
No, but let me finish though. He was young and he didn't know, and I think this is one of the notions, like trying to figure out like what does a committed relationship mean when you start dating young, and you don't even know what that means, because like they started dating like 14, 15. This nigga don't know what the whole concept of what love is and what sacrifice is and what commitment is, and this motherfucker just he didn't had a growth spurt, his voice then got deep, and his nuts didn't drop, and he doing the fucking what he wanted to do. And I think that at that point, he shouldn't have been in a relationship.
Yeah. But I don't think this idea of young, no, you got to know better eventually. And the only reason I say you got to know better because they had children.
Yeah, they did.
So it's a different level to this. We're not talking about just going to 10th grade homecoming. We ain't talking about just going to the prom. Like, they have children together.
I understand that, but for some men, that doesn't mean anything. A kid at 16 doesn't mean anything to them because they like, well, I'm still get my fuck shit off. Like, yeah, I got a little one. Like, I just think about some of the niggas in the hood that I knew that had kids at a young age. And it's like, oh, yeah, I got my little one. This is my everything. Or, they say shit like, this is my everything. But, they're still going to do fuck shit with, their baby mama or cheat on them and things of that sort. And I just think it's just because they're young and they don't, even though you have a kid and you do grown-up things, doesn't mean you're mentally ready to be in these constructs of commitment and responsibility and things of that sort, because hell, you still a fucking kid.
Yeah, that's true. But I also thought it was good that they talked about there can be love after cheating, and I do believe that too. Like, I think after cheating, There's a way to move forward in that. It's a way to move through it. But I think you have to acknowledge it. And I think, what's his name? Darkchild. No more. Did a good explanation of that, of saying that you had to get to a place where you completely owned it and letting your partner go through all the emotions and be willing to take the backlash from that.
Yeah.
So sometimes what I hear from my friends is that they go through this situation and their partner will be like, well, you keep bringing this up. I said I was sorry. Well, motherfucker, I'm still processing it. Just because I said I was sorry don't mean I'm never going to bring this up again. Like, this is still something I'm processing and going through. So I appreciated him bringing that to the front to be like, that's just some shit you gotta own.
Yeah.
And then was the light-skinned couple again from Insecure who said, what they say the pastor said, no, that was Viola and them. They gave some gems too. As long as you did the shit, this is how long. No, was it Warren? I don't know. As long as you did the shit.
It's the amount of time they need to.
At minimum. That you need to be trying to get back right and do what you need to do to just get to, not to a good place, to zero.
Yeah.
To a neutral playing ground. So if you was a fuck boy, fuck girl for 2-3 years, you need to be trying to get right, be sweet, go above and beyond, take the shit for a minimum of 3 years before you at equal playing ground. And I think that's true.
Yeah,
I want to say
so
you
too.
need to double it.
I think so too, because that person, it's a lot of things that's going on. When like those type of events come on, that yes, you need to give them their time and space to grieve that and not take that away from them.
Yes. But I think the key is both of you have to, when getting through cheating, both of you have to want it.
Yeah.
So the person who cheated have to want it, and the person who was cheated on has to want to work through it.
Right.
And be willing to go through the ups and downs. And I think that's really what comes to a space when you got to get counseling involved, and you got to really keep people out your business during that time.
Yeah.
And to acknowledge it and work through it and really redefine what your relationship is, redefine the expectations, redefine the communication styles. That's the piece where you have to basically tear everything that you believed your relationship was, tear it down and start over for it to work through it.
Yeah, I agree.
Another thing I thought it was through, so this falling down episode was just moving through just real traumatic events in relationships.
Yeah.
So I know one theme was cheating. The other thing that I got from them, you can talk more about this because I don't, this is the one couple that I could not relate to. I called them the ride and the die, true to the game. So it was one couple on there who was together for a while, and then the guy wanted to provide more for his family. So he got into the drug game, and his wife was like, this is not what I married you for. I don't care if we got to live check to check. But he was like, no, I'm enjoying this life. I'm going to do this drugs, to sell this drugs, and such. So the wife was like, I want a divorce.
Her ass committed fraud.
I don't know if I would have said that on the film. I don't know if I would have said that on the film. I don't know if I would have said that these crackers is crafty out here. They taking notes.
Her ass said.
Because he wouldn't give her the divorce.
Yeah, because he was like in jail or something like that. He wouldn't sign the papers.
No, he wasn't in jail. He was like, fuck you.
I'm not signing shit. And
Yeah.
She done signed those damn papers and sent them in.
For him. And then he ended up going to jail. And then he said it finally hit him where he was serving what? No, before he went to jail, he called her.
Yeah.
Because he hit the rock bottom. Because y'all know this drug game got psycho. So everybody think it's true to the game. I'm teasing. Everybody think it's like drug lords, gumdrops and happiness. But every kingpin got his day where you don't got nothing. He living in his car and he called his wife, his ex-wife hopefully at that time, and said, I need some money, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, no, you's a liar. And that's what she was like, the Lord told me, don't believe everything motherfuckers tell you.
Ooh.
And then he was like, yeah, I was lying. I just knew I could call her to get some money so I can re-up. Can we talk about that before I move on? When everyone talked about God a lot in this episode. Can I just put a pin in that? And after we talk about this story, we'll bring that up.
Yeah.
Because I love the Lord and I know the Lord speaks and I know he works. But the way folks were saying, they said God spoke to them. Mm-hmm. How did he sound?
Yeah. What,
like they were making it sound like he was whispering. The Lord don't be whispering in my ear like that. Maybe I talk too much. I got to put my spiritual ears on again.
Nyambi, this is the Lord.
Like, do he come through journalings? Do he come through mute? Like, I guess it can be all that.
I think one of the questions, in addition to like, what does God sound like when people say the Lord speak to you? You know, there's always that voice in your head that like talks to you or whatever. Like, oh. So you don't never have like internal conversations with yourself?
No, it's out loud.
Oh, truthfully it is. I can't even lie. I done walked in on Nyambi ass a couple times, and I'm like, Nyambi, who you talking to? She like myself.
What?
Well, for other normal people.
I am normal.
Okay, for other people, they
I'm
have
normal. Remember, you get on that bus.
yeah. For other people have conversations in their head. And I know for me, that conversation I'm having, when I'm talking to myself, sounds like me. But what does the voice sound like when you ask yourself a question and somebody else is answering? Is that the Lord?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is that God?
Did you put air quotes up? Don't do that. No, I'm not challenging that God does not speak.
No, but I'm just saying, like, what?
What does it? Yeah, I wish folks, because I'm just curious. Like, not saying that he did it or he didn't, but that can be a book in itself. What does God sound like? When folks say that, like, I'm just curious to you, to them individually. Like, I wish they would have asked them. So, what did he say? How do you say that without being funny?
Right.
What'd he say?
The Lord spoke to me, and he said, "That nigga lying." How did he say it?
Did he say that nigga lying?
Did the Lord say that nigga lying? Like, I get what you're saying.
All honesty, because I'm trying to even determine what it feels like when the Lord speaks to me. It's more of a gut feeling. It's never words. I wish, and I be praying. One of my prayers, and me and Nia do all together. Lord, be clear, be plain, and make it easy. I don't want no hard lessons, Lord.
So you want him to be like Nyambi?
Yeah.
Don't go that way.
All right.
Why Lord? And he give you 10 reasons why.
I don't need no 10 reasons. You just say don't do it.
Okay.
I don't even need explanation. I just need the Lord to be like, don't do that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm an obedient servant, honey. That's what I say. I want it clear, plain, and easy.
Well, if you don't know what he sound like.
That's what I get nervous about. When people be like, I'm like, is he making it clear to you?
Hey.
So I think that's what I'm just.
What if the grand architect is talking to you through me?
Don't do that.
And you blow me off.
Now you being very controlling.
What? I'm just saying.
That's gaslighter.
How does gaslighting?
That's gaslighting. That's ladies and gentlemen, take FYI. If your nigga come to you with some pimp shit like that, watch it. What the hell you mean? Because the Lord I don't need a third party.
What you mean? He might need a proxy.
No, nope. I'll make sure I add that to my prayers. No proxies, Lord. But I don't want to get off topic. But I noticed that was a theme, and I get it when they say that. But I'm just curious to other people, when they say that God is speaking to me, or God spoke to me, God said this. What does that look like?
What did he say, or how he said it?
How he said, or was it intuition? Viewers out there, when the Lord speaks to you, how that go?
I would like to know too,
because I want to make sure if I got to rearrange my prayers. But anywho, like we were saying, he went to the woman said God told me he was a liar, and so I ain't gonna give him the money. And then so he ain't get the money, so he got caught up, right? And so he had to do some time. So he went to the judge, and he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna do this time, right? I think he gonna get maybe a year or so." Yeah. And the judge was like, "You got 144 months." And he was like, "All right." Okay. And then he went into city jail. This nigga started doing mental math. He started 12 times 12 times. He said, that's damn near 10 years. I said, when he said 144 months, I said, damn.
I said, damn, that's an all last time.
Because he said that calm. Then he said, I couldn't hold it still. And I started adding it up.
Because he thought it was like a car payment. Like, oh, okay. Like, I got a 4-year bid.
Yeah. And it's 12. And that's when he was like, oh, shit. And I guess why he was in jail, he started writing thugging love letters to her and, just hood love letters, and growth, I guess, happened over that time, and maturity. Like, even his wife said at that moment she seen even the way his letters, the tone of his letters and the penmanship of his letters even shifted from, where he was to the end. And eventually they got remarried. Yeah. And not only remarried, but remarried while he was in jail.
Yeah, while he's still in prison, yeah.
To say, because she said when she went to bed at night, what would you do?
If they died, like
would you want to be married to them? And so she said I would, and so she remarried him. And I just could not connect at all. I don't think he did the whole 12 years.
No.
But
and
I got family members who've been with folks while they've been in prison and been ride or die, and now are completely in love. And I would say a great example of black love. I don't know if Nyambi could do it.
No.
What's your thoughts on that? I'm not at the maturity level yet. What? And it's some shit I told you not to do. It ain't like, he went out, Jasmine Sullivan, your second strike, I'll take the third, because that's what a real bitch do. You doing some shit I told you explicitly not to do. We was making it. Was we, struggling a little bit? Yeah. But was we making it? Yes. It ain't like he was John Q-ing this shit. His son ain't need surgery. Like, what are you doing?
But, I think that's the ego for men, though. Like, the whole gender role construct of, a man's supposed to take care of, take care of the house and be a provider, and even though that most of the money, from what I remember from the conversation, was coming from her, like he still feel as if a ain't shit nigga by not being able to provide
above and beyond. I mean, it's something that spoke to my heart too as a woman when he was like, I want to provide for her so she doesn't have to be unhappy. She doesn't have to want, like, it's something, intrinsic in me that's like, yeah, that's what's up. But not to the extent where we're sacrificing your freedom.
Well, brothers don't get that.
Like, absolutely not. Of course, that speaks to my spirit for me. And, that's where Nyambi get old school. I think that's why I be confusing folks. Because, I love the Lord. I'm pro-black. I'm a feminist. But I do like to be taken care of, honey.
Nyambi sure like to be kept.
But I like to be kept. But I can keep my damn self, too. Like, so it's a give and take. And I think this idea of jail time, and I think that's why it was so hard for me. So it's like you explicitly didn't listen to what the hell I said. You said you wanted me to be happy, and you did the complete opposite. And you say he went with the ego. Now, that's different if you're going to jail for protecting your family, something going, you know what I'm saying? Something going down. Yeah, I'm going to be right there. But you want some, like I said, true to the game, coldest winter ever bullshit?
Well, the ego is a bitch, baby. That ego.
Hell no.
That ego have your ass doing things that, you didn't think you'd be doing. Or you be like, no, I'm doing this no matter what nobody said to me, and I'm going to make it work. And sometimes, that ego ass to get your ass in check. And sometimes
144 months in check.
What happened is, karma, whatever you want to call it, the grand architect, got his ass down and said, nigga, you need to sit the fuck down because what the fuck you doing ain't.
And he actually wasn't good at it.
No. Evidently his ass getting caught and shit.
Got caught deep. Got caught enough to get 144 months.
That nigga ain't no cool there.
He ain't quit there, honey. He don't got the right lawyers, or he don't at least got to quit there as his kingpin to get the lawyers on him.
Right, that nigga ain't Ghost. He ain't got Proctor.
He don't got Proctor on his team for 144 months. So I thought that was interesting. And I caught my own, it could be thought as insecurities, but I think that's where I draw the line. It's like, oh hell no, you did this on get another job. What happened to working a second job?
Baby, for hood niggas, that second job shit don't work.
Damn.
That second job
or
shit
downsizing this bitch. Like, it's
for
too many
hood
options.
Niggas, that shit don't work. Hood niggas want to keep everything they got, and they don't want no second job. They want fast money.
Yes, it was just too many. And they young, they were like, what would you give them? They late 40s, early 50s now. So I'm assuming this happened in they 30s.
Yeah. So
it's like you young still. You can still hustle up on some shit. It ain't like they in their 60s where it's like, child, I don't work. I can't be working 3, 4, 10 jobs. I don't think they even had children or anything yet, right?
No.
Or maybe they did. I don't know. But it just seemed like, damn, bro, you skipped a few steps.
And went straight to drug dealer.
Drug dealer.
But that's how niggas in the hood is. They think drug dealing is a viable way to make money and make a living.
I mean, it is, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna take it from them now. You get quick money, but it's dangerous.
It surely is. And I'm seeing a lot of people get killed by that shit. But for some people, they're like, it's a viable way. Yeah. They don't see getting a second job. Oh, what the fuck I'm getting a second job for? Work for this white man. I'm only getting $10 an hour at FedEx. And, I'm out here breaking my back to do this shit. And the ends is not meeting. I might as well just sell dope. Yeah. At least I know the shit going to be fast.
And I can come home at night.
Exactly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So I think that's more or less what the mind frame of these type of hood niggas are, because I've seen it.
All y'all out there dating them dope boys, dope girls, how y'all make it? What?
They get a bag and they pray.
Hey, come on. Another stuff that came up was just this strange idea. Well, I'm calling it strange ideas of what marriage is. So it looks like all the couples kept talking about like what their idea was of marriage was when they first got together. I think who was it? Erica and Warren said that when he used to come home, is her name Erica? Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Erica. She used to kind of be ready for him, kind of propped up in the bed, wanted to come greet him, and all she heard was the video game turn on, and he played a game, and then he'll come up maybe an hour or two later
and play some more video games.
So there was no greeting or anything when you came home. Like, what the hell is that about? That's some bullshit. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine if I'm upstairs or in the house and Niram come home and the first thing he do is hop on a video game and don't come acknowledge me. The thing is, I'm not okay. Fine, if you want to play the video game, that's fine. But you can at least come acknowledge me. Y'all bitches out here let niggas do that. That's the problem. Y'all the problem. Y'all allowing it. Because maybe the first time I'd be like, okay, the second time, third time I would have broke that bitch. Or I would have brung the video game and laid it in the bed next to me. Why are you laughing? And be like, oh, okay. I know you like to greet her. I got both. We're gonna do a menage a trois. You got both your bitches here.
Oh my God! You got
Sega
the
and
video
me.
game. Not Sega.
But do niggas do that now?
Yes, niggas
Really?
do that. You know, I
Any
think
niggas you know, niggas you associate with.
I think it come up from their upbringing. Like I think that type of shit come up from their upbringing. Where
Yeah, my dad never walked in the house and didn't acknowledge me or my mom. First thing.
And I even think
And vice versa.
Being in a single parent household where, you know, it was just me and my mom, it was the same thing. Like she can be in the back room or she can be in the kitchen, and that's just one thing you do is that you greet the person in the house.
Yeah, now I'm not saying, you know, I know with some couples when they spouse come home, oh, honey, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How was your day? What's going? I don't got to be all that, but I just need you to say, hey, how you doing? I'm here. I'm home. Where you at? Like,
Yeah.
just that, because I think it's extremes to it. So I know I've seen other couples that look like a sitcom and they just drop what they're doing and they do a slow run and slow cap. If that's what works for you, fine. But at least an acknowledgement of, are you home? Is someone here? Are you dead? Are you choking?
But I think that's one of the things that it's a mechanism of growing up in the hood. I know for us is that, you know, it was more of.
Oh, you see. Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
safety. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was more of a safety type thing to make sure everything is all right when you get in this house.
You
Because
are-
your ass in the hood because you don't know who the fuck is in
Who
here.
up in here waiting on your ass?
Right.
Come on.
And so, you know, I think that's always has been a mechanism. And, you know, for us, it turned from a mechanism of safety. But, you know, now we're in white ass New England. So, you know, the safety level, I would say, is a little bit higher, or what's the word I'm looking for? The assumption of safety is a little bit higher since we're in white ass New England versus Detroit, that it's more of a nicety now.
Yes.
But I think in Detroit, if we was in Detroit, it's, hey, baby, you here?
Where you at? Who you with? Come
Right.
and let me see you. Yelling, yeah, was not enough. Like you almost had to physically see
Right.
the person.
Who here? You
You
here?
here? But folks really walk in the house and don't go to their spouse or their partner or their kids.
Mhm.
So how do you be knowing who in the house? Like that's just so strange to me. That's not strange to you.
They find out when they get there.
Also, I think about, you said hood mechanisms. Even when I go to people's houses and I come in their house, I lock their door. And all our friends out here tease us about that.
Yeah.
Because we believe in locking the door.
We sure do.
Like, I lock the door. Like, if I'm the last person, whatever door I walk through at anyone's house, if I know them or not, I'm locking it.
That bitch is getting locked. Axnia.
Yeah, he be like, you locking everything up. Yes. So they won't come in.
I think we were somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, I need to lock the door." I said, "Oh, I already locked it." He said, "Well, I ain't got to check it because I already know you didn't lock it and you didn't check it twice because it's that Detroit in you."
I didn't even realize. I thought everybody locked their doors.
No.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that tied into kind of when God was saying things, when folks would say, I prayed about dating you.
God said no.
And God said no.
What
Again,
he sound like?
not even that, but I don't remember praying for you, Nero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I pray for you now, your safety, moving in this world. And, I don't ever remember praying to God to be like, Lord, bring me a black man. I don't.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever talk to your grand architect or meditate or put thoughts in this world? I never particularly remember praying or asking for that.
No.
Like for a partner or spouse. I always thought maybe that's a privilege, not assumed, but I always prayed for happiness, joy, peace, clarity, but I never remember praying for a partner or companionship. Yeah. I just thought, what? I don't got no friends. It's just me and the Lord, honey. He is the companion.
Well, I always thought that was a right. Like, I always felt like with my personality and, who I am and how I interact with people, that I was always going to have a partner regardless.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't have to have a partner or not. Like, that was never a make or break for me. I've never been, although I'm a serial monogamous, I'm always in a relationship.
Always.
That was never, I'm not scared to be alone. I'm not scared to be single. I'm not scared to be a black woman with no kids or no husband. That doesn't scare me at all. I just figured I'm just going to do something else fabulous with my life.
Like?
Travel, buy things, eat great, sleep around. Like, it's just.
Yeah, so
date. Like that never. And when she said it, I was like, damn, I've never prayed pre you or pre any relationship. I've never prayed to God for a relationship.
Some people do though.
Really?
Yeah. Some people, that's what they want. They want it so bad that they really pray for it. Lord, I want somebody. Bring
too
me
selfish.
somebody.
Lord, give me peace of mind. Lord, give me clarity.
You know,
Lord, give me the keys. Make it plain. Give me the bags, Lord. Just give me the bags. Don't bring the man that gonna bring the bags. Just let me have the bag.
and other people like, Lord, bring me a husband. Because that's all they want. For
See,
some
I'm
people,
willing to trade that in for everything.
I know you are. I know you are. But, I know you are, and I think that's where,
And the Lord got a good sense of humor, huh?
And I think that's where you are different from other women. But I think for some women who have, like, the traditional constructs of, what the American dream is and things like that sort, they want a husband. They want to be a wife. They want to be a wife. They want babies. They want the whole experience. They want that because they feel like it's their right to have it. And they don't have it, so they pray about it. They do everything. You know, friends like that.
I know.
Like I know friends like that. That's
do.
all they want. The only thing they want in life is to be a wife and have kids.
A wife and mother. I mean, it's a great job. I mean, it's great to do that. It's a great accomplishment. I mean, I just don't think that's everything though. Yeah. But it's a great accomplishment to do, and it's a great service. That is God work, honey.
I think one of the concepts that I think I need to comment is a hard one was the couple that lost their son.
Oh, that couple that they ain't spent enough time on that.
No,
just that could have been a whole episode. So this would have could have been. It should have been an episode called Grief.
Yeah,
and it should have been what it is, not grief, loss. So I would love to see the conversation of losing a child. What is it to have the conversation when you lose a partner? So having one of the folks who've been married and they lost their other partner in all levels of their relationship. So maybe it newlyweds, 10, 15 years, and the 20 and up crew. Like, how did they process that? And then also like the loss of a parent in navigating with that while being in a committed or married relationship. Yeah. I think that's heavy.
I think it's heavy as well.
And no one talks about that in the rule books. Maybe we need to have an episode on that. Thank goodness, I haven't, lost a parent or, a child, but maybe bringing someone on to really flesh that out. So what does it mean? Or losing a partner. How do you navigate through that space? Because I think it was Viola Davis that said, she feels as if her children and her husband is a part of her.
Yeah.
And it's just like her parents. And when I think she lost her father, she said she lost a piece of herself. And she had to learn to live with that piece of her missing and grow and develop in what this new self meant without that person in her life. But yeah, Niram, the folks who lost their baby, and it looked like they lost that child probably about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In the way they were talking about like it was yesterday.
I think, when it comes to losing a child, that's one of the biggest strains that you can have on your relationship other than cheating.
Yeah. I don't even think cheating will be near losing a child.
But I think it's losing a child then cheating, like when in the scale of things, because
I don't even put it that high.
Well, I do. Yeah. And the reason why, for losing a child, because I even think about how, I've lost two brothers in my life, and my, one brother that I lost, I was 10. My mother and father were still together, and I think, losing my brother during that time frame really had a hard effect on my parents. And some people, when you're already on a rocky foundation and you have something traumatic like that happen, all shit can go to hell, especially if you don't have the proper communication styles or the basics to figure out what your spouse is going through and to grieve at the same time. And I think that's one of the things that they showed a great example of, like what it does it mean to grieve by yourself, but also grieve with your spouse, because research says that, when people lose a child, couples are more likely to break up. Yeah. And understanding that, you met your spouse before you had that child, and knowing that the relationship is for y'all, not necessarily the child. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I was bringing up a couple episodes ago, like when we was talking about Black Love, where, people was talking about how they had kids and things switch, and like the focus became like on the kid versus each other, and, and just knowing, and I think personally, and just knowing that even though you have a kid, you still need to also focus on your spouse. Yes. And like not forget like your spouse is here and your spouse is the reason that y'all got this kid. And
yeah, we don't have kids yet, but I want to make it, I know that's going to be a part of my parent and love philosophy, that Niram, you will come first before our child. Because I think somebody else in this episode said that. Because the idea of we're both happy and taking care of each other, that automatically means the child will be taken care of too. Period. And that's not a traditional viewpoint that most folks have.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I do think it's important, personally. I know for Niram and Nyambi.
Yeah. I have a question I got for you that I wrote out is how do you learn to love and where do you learn love from?
What? How do I learn to love?
Yeah. Like, how do you learn to love? Like, where did you get the concept of love and being in the committed relationship? And, how did you learn it and where did you learn it from?
I think examples. I think, of course, everyone, it starts at home. So looking, to my parents, my aunts and uncles, family, friends, and grandparents, and seeing good, bad, and ugly. So, I think we're the epitome of the Detroit. If it works, use it. If it don't, let it go. So seeing, when it was good, all those pieces, and taking those pieces and lessons and tidbits and ideas of intimacy and supporting and caring, but also when it was bad. So, as growing up, I've seen, examples from my aunts and uncles or folks that were close to the family that I'm like, oh, hell to the nah, to the nah, that I took notes to say, that's what I don't want. So even if they didn't show me what the ideal model was, they showed me what I didn't want and what I wouldn't sacrifice. And as a woman, what my role would be in the relationship. So I would say, by looking at that, and also through intuition, you know what feel good and what don't feel good. You know yourself better than anybody else in the world. So being realistic and upfront with my wants and needs, and knowing that you or anyone else I'm dating or a committed relationship isn't a mind reader, and being able to articulate what I need and want and expect from you or a partner. And if you're willing not to give it, be willing to walk away. So I would say that's how I do it. So trial and error, self-introspection, learning, ups and downs, crying, all of the above, all that goes into it, I would say.
Okay.
What about you?
I think it's the same thing as seeing examples of my life. So seeing my parents in a relationship, seeing my sister, and in her relationship, seeing other family members in their relationship and how they interact, and definitely trial and error. But I was just thinking, the reason I brought this up is, the light skinned couple from
what's their name?
I can't think of the dude name from
I don't want to call them insecure couple. That's taken out of context.
The light skinned couple from the guy that's from Insecure, and they dated. They was in a relationship very young, like
very young,
super young. And I think one of the concepts he brought up was like, I didn't know how to love, and like learning how to love and being with that person and growing to love. And I think that's one of the questions that came up to me. It's like, well, how do you love? Or like, how do you learn to love, and who did you learn love from, especially at a young age, like 15, 16, where I think the construct of love for them is sex. Like, oh, we fuck, I love him. Or we fuck, I mean,
that's
her.
a level to love. That can be a level to it. And I see what you're saying now. And I think it's what we say when you're with other people, they're getting you trained to be with you forever. So I think every relationship that you're in teaches you something about loving yourself. And it's your job to store and train or manipulate or, grow that kind of key or tidbit from that relationship. So I think every relationship you're in, you should learn something from it. Be it, romantic, platonic, family, friends. There's something you need to get out of that. And it's up to you to kind of keep building a foundation strong on that to when you get to this philosophy or this framework that you use, what love is, the idea of love.
Okay.
You don't believe that?
I'm still working on that.
Okay. Well, what do you say you learned? You just I think trial and error is huge. Trial and error.
Yeah. So, I think that's more or less one of the questions that came up with. I don't necessarily have an answer right now.
Well, the first love, I would say, is yourself and God. So,
hey.
If you don't truly know how to love yourself or love, you're a grand architect, the Lord, you can't love another person fully, wholly, and all together.
That's true. I also think that's one of the things that I think Viola brought up. This whole notion of being happy and whole
by your damn
by yourself And if you can't be happy and whole by yourself, like you can't expect someone else to complete you.
No.
And the whole notion of, he complete me goes out the window, and it shouldn't be like he complete me. It's he adds something to me.
Yeah.
To make me a better person. What you think?
No, I think it has to be. I think when folks talk about this idea of completing me, I think to those more when you're in a relationship and you're having kind of these traumas and you fall to pieces. So lose an example. Say you're in a relationship, you lose your parents. When your parents die, a piece of you's gone. That's when you expect your partner to step in to help you heal and mend that, right? So when I think of folks say he completes me, that's what I think of. But not when you're initially in a relationship. Like if y'all just at the beginning and newlywed and he completing you, girl, bye. I'm already complete and done. The beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Revelations. It's done.
Okay. Anything else that you seen noteworthy
from that episode? So they also talk about celibacy. We might have to have an episode on celibacy. We're gonna have to invite some people on though. I don't have celibacy confuses me.
Why?
I don't understand. Is it so? Okay, I shouldn't say that. So I understand it for the religious piece. Mm-hmm. I guess I know where it is in the Bible, but
where?
No, I'm not going to go to Bible study here. But I guess I understand the idea of not having sex before marriage. Yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But celibacy confuses me, and I feel like it's this trend that happens. So I feel like, with celibacy in high school, don't do it. Then I feel like everybody fucked. And then everyone got in some really fucked up relationships. And something happens between 25 and 35. And all of a sudden, everyone's celibate again. I'm assuming once we hit 35 to 40, everybody's like, fuck it, I'm fucking again.
Revirginization?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
What does that do? Like, I get it for the fact of saying that you want to recommit yourself to God. You want to do it to clear your mind, almost like a fast, right? I get it, that piece. But everybody ain't using it in that fashion.
No.
And it's this idea of I'm celibate. Now God is going to send me
somebody.
Yeah. And I'm like, girls, a lot of people fucking getting their soulmates. Well, it's just, I just don't. It don't work that way. Or maybe it just in my head it don't work that way. Like I said, I can't speak to it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't. But
folks did talk. Whenever celibacy comes up, I'd be like, and I think with a certain age, that I'd be like, so you think you haven't found your partner because you've been fucking? I just want to know, is that what you think? Or you haven't found your partner because you've been fucking, because you've been attracting the type of man. I'm about to go somewhere I don't need to go.
Well, go.
Because you're not attracting the person you deserve because of the energy and your own insecurity that you're projecting out there. And that's the only person you're attracting. Which one is it? Them two different things.
Yeah, that is.
But, because I think one of the couples was celibate and the guy was like, I've never thought of this in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked and it did. And I'm not saying that it can't work out. But I think the reasons, you have to be very clear on the reasons why you're choosing to be celibate. Mm-hmm. And just because you're celibate, it ain't like a pack with guy like, okay, Lord, I'm celibate.
I'm celibate now.
Where my man?
And the thing is, like, how long does it take? Like, how long constitutes a celibacy? Like, a week? 14 days?
I think a few hours.
A few.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the process? Like, I just think celibacy is something that's a lot more deeper and spiritual than sex. Mm-hmm. And I think folks just use celibacy as like, I'm not having sex. And folks lead off with that even in relationships. So folks go on dates and be like, I'm celibate. Sis, ain't nobody really asked that. I don't know if we there.
I'm still trying to figure out if I like you or not.
If I even like you. That was something that came up too, the idea of liking each other. Uh-huh. But I guess I think that was the second episode. You have any thoughts on celibacy? That's a whole episode in itself. I don't. I think I'm a little petty when it comes to celibacy. When you over 25, no, 25 is still young. When you 30 and over and you come to be talking about celibacy, I'm like, sis.
I have no thoughts on I have no thoughts on celibacy.
What do you mean you have no thoughts? Well, we gotta have an episode about it. You're gonna have to get thoughts.
I have no thoughts on it. I don't understand it. Like I get
the spiritual journey of it, but everybody don't use it for spiritual clarity. I get celibacy for spiritual clarity, but people is using celibacy as like Match.com.
Well, you know,
like genies in the bottles, and
you
it
know,
don't work that way.
So that's one of the things that why I don't have like any thoughts on it, because something, you know, for me, I think of it more or less like a challenge. Like, all right, let's see how long I can go. It's almost like me going vegan. Let's see how long
celibacy-ish. Celibate-ish.
Let me see how long I can go vegan.
Yeah.
And you know, if I like it, you know, I keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I look at celibacy. Like, let me see how long I can go without having sex.
Instead of, no, I see it. When I think of celibacy, I almost think it as a spiritual fast.
Mm-hmm.
So a spiritual fast from, you know, the flesh, distractions, like all of that. Not as a means to end to get a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I be like, I don't think that's the purpose of it. Because you committed some other sins. So you going to stop them sins? I think the light skin couple said sinning is expensive. Well, how they say it? A sin is expensive.
Something
The
like
sin
that.
of cost, some shit like that he
Yeah.
said. But I was like, ain't that the damn truth?
Yeah, they will. So that's more or less why I think about celibacy. I think it was more like a vegan challenge.
Yeah. I hope it's mean more than that to folks. It ain't just a whole 30.
But you know, but as far as that, I don't. From now, I really don't understand. Like, if you need to do self work, do self work.
Yes.
And call it that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, call I'm doing self work, and one of the things that I'm doing in the process of like self work is I'm not, you know, offering my body or
Yes,
I'm
to
not
anyone
having
else
sex
until I
anybody
can
else
offer it myself.
until
Yes.
I figure out what's going
Until
on
I can
myself
love myself. Yes.
and go through that.
Yes.
I think yes,
That makes
like,
sense.
that makes sense. But being like I'm celibate, I'm not fucking nobody.
Now I'm ready for him, Lord.
Right.
Deliver him.
Or you know what? I'm gonna go on a 90-day no sex fast, like Steve Harvey said. And
He
see
did
what
not
happens.
say that. You put words in his mouth. He said you shouldn't sleep with folks for 90 days. I don't think he said a fast, did
Oh
he?
well,
You
that's the
making
same
up
thing.
shit. Yeah.
Like not sleeping with somebody for 90 days and you meeting somebody and you go on a 90-day sex fast. It's
Shut up,
semantics.
The next episode was the last one. So that was episode 3. So the next episode was Getting to Forever, which I thought it was interesting. What you thought about that episode?
I really like that episode because then that's where they provided like nuggets of information.
Yes, finally. Jesus.
You know, you went through, you know, how the love started to tripping over hurdles to falling. Now it's about getting up and brushing yourself off and moving forward from there. So, you know, I think some of the concepts that came up was like teamwork and knowing that, you know, a committed relationship is a partnership. And as the world changed, your partnership needs to change as well to adjust to the views of the world.
True. I know some stuff that stuck out to me was the idea of mirroring potential versus actual. So a lot of times folks always say, you know, I love them and I think it's more than love, you need to survive, but I'm marrying them because they have such great potential. But I think it's key to marry folks for the space that they're in, because I believe when you marry someone, when you marry them, you have to be okay if they're going to be in that space or in that realm forever. Because this potential that you marry may never come to life. Ever. And I think where the resentment and the breakdown occurs is when you're with someone for X amount of years and you're like, I thought you were going to do X, Y, and Z. And you're just doing A. You didn't even get to X, Y, and Z.
Well, I think that's
you lied. But in actuality, they didn't lie. You're the one who changed.
Yeah.
So they held.
Change.
You said what?
Your expectations.
Your
change.
expectations change. So when you got married, this is what they were doing. This is how you were moving forward. Where you were both on the same playing ground. But something happened and you didn't grow together. Which, you know, you hoped to grow together, but you didn't. But you actually changed. And you have to be okay with that. And I think that's a piece that's to come for me. Because I know folks that they be like, oh, child, you marrying all that potential and you don't know what the hell gonna happen. It's a lot of potential out here, but bringing it to fruition and, you know, put in initiative. That's why we say it take more than love to make a marriage work. It take more than potential to create a successful human being. Okay, everybody got potential.
I think that was one of the trying to mix shows together. So Insecure.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Easton Lawrence fell out, because he was so much on his potential in this app and things of that sort. Like, yeah, he's working on this app, blah, blah, blah. But his ass sitting on his couch.
Oh my God. And I think that translates. So I think Lawrence was extreme because I don't think a nigga could lay up on my couch. But it's a lot of dudes, cis bro cousins out there who maybe are in the same job, who don't move jobs. And when we're talking about same jobs, meaning they're unhappy in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're not even moving up or moving on.
Yeah.
But they're staying in that space. That's a problem.
Yeah. You've been at Best Buy for 15 years and you still a sales associate.
Come on. That'd be like me, y'all. We doing this podcast for 10, 15 years later, and Nayan be still talking about mom at the Big Box store. Well, bitch, that's your career.
Right. Where the growth.
That's your career. Own it. Breathe in it. And either move up or move on, bitch.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's something, especially in our age range, Niram, I think that's something. It's something that happens when you reach this checkbox of 30s and your 40s that you be like, shit, the clock is ticking fucking down.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
And ticking down, not meaning I'm about to die. So I'm not saying 30 and 40 years old. Like, you living life. Like, I know we have got lots of years and things to move forward with that. But I think almost this idea professional wise, a person like, what are you waiting on? Not that it's too late. Like, it's never too late to start something. But if you have something in your head you want to do, something clicks that says, what the fuck are you waiting on?
Yeah. Why you ain't doing it?
Why aren't you doing it again?
And what's taking you so long?
And what's taking you so long? Do you not want to do it? Well, move the fuck on. So I think definitely that type of pressure kicks up. It's not that you can't do it. Hell, you can start something new when you're 60, 70, 80. But if you done had this same dream from your 20s and 30s and you 40, you damn near 40 and still haven't brung it to reality, it's a problem.
Or at least started working on it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Brung it to meaning take step one. You need to be at step 1 and step 2. Because that's bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's huge. And folks being realistic with that. And also as the partner who married this person, being explicit with them. And having the conversation of what marriage is. What is the commitment to marriage? So I think folks use this marriage a lot. Fine. But marriage is this commitment. What commitment do you have to this person?
Yeah.
And when you marry this potential versus actual, was that in the commitment? So that's when you got to ask yourself, do you hang in there and you rock with them or do you leave them? Mm-hmm. When do you get to the point of the commitment when you say one or the other? What do you think, Nira? That's a heavy one.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there that we have to unpack there.
Yeah. Did he use my own words on me? Niram don't like it. Sometimes I can be very black and white.
Very. Mm-hmm. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because the world is not black and white.
Well, yes, it is, but
I'm not talking about black people versus white people.
I didn't say versus.
Black and white.
Yeah.
But I really do think that for me, the concept of marriage is a commitment and saying that regardless of what's going on, I'm committed to you.
Yeah.
I think for me, when it comes down to the basics of, Nira, what do you think about marriage? I think a commitment.
Yes. And
I think that's what it really come down to, and being committed regardless of what's going on in life, whether it's sick, whether it's famine, where there's money issues. It's about being commitment. And then sometimes during that commitment, there are times where your initial thought on what y'all was committed on or it's changed. And sometimes that's where, divorce or breaking up comes into it. But I definitely think that, yes, when you turn 30,
30, 40. It's in these check boxes. And folks lie about people with these milestones makes a big construct. That's a lie. It's real.
Yes. I really do think that once, I even think for me, like not even just for like turning 30, but I think for me, like every age is a different
yes,
click or a tick on the top.
Enlightenment. Yeah.
In life.
Yeah. Different enlightenment.
And I think once you turn 30, it just seems like everything that has happened for the past 30 years like flashed before your eyes.
Yeah.
And you be like, damn, I've either been doing a lot of fuck shit.
Oh my goodness.
Like what the hell has I been doing? Like what are these mistakes I made?
And speak to it.
And just thinking, damn, if I really had the chance to do this shit all over again, I'd do it over.
Let's talk about wasted ass time. Mm-hmm. That's the key. When you get older, you look at all the damn time you wasted. Mm-hmm. And that is a word. Black love family community. How much time y'all don't waste it?
Ooh, that's a word.
How much time have you wasted? And I think what defines people who are successful are the folks who can say, yeah, I fucked up, I waste time. But guess what? Now I'm moving forward. I'm not wasting no more time compared to the people who sit in their shit
Yeah.
You know, it's the difference between being sorry and lazy.
Yeah.
You know, you're
What's the
sorry
difference?
if you sit in your shit. You know, if you shit on yourself, you're lazy if you sit in it.
Mm.
It's two different things. Are you sorry or you lazy or you both? Because you can be both.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's huge, Neil. This idea of wasting time and the loss of potential in reshaping that picture of yourself. And you have to do that personally and in a relationship.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that happens, like when you turn 30, is that you also got to fight the notion that, man, I didn't waste so much time, and there's not no time for me to do what I'm
And
doing.
it's plenty of time. So that's why I wanted to be like, you know, it's still time. But you hit a point where it's like, shit, I got to reevaluate some shit.
Exactly.
Because if this 30 went quick, how fast the next 30 going to go?
Exactly. So I think that's one of the things that once you hit that age, a lot of people get stuck up on, like, man, I wasted all this time. There's all hope done.
Yeah,
I
and
should
it's
just
not.
stay at this job that I hate for years.
No, don't.
I shouldn't move on. And I think that's not necessarily the case. It's definitely a reframing of everything that you learned
Yes.
and everything that you feel, and then being like, all right, I need to move forward and make things happen.
Because you don't want to be in the same space.
No.
So the Naomi that I am in this 30-some-year-old mind frame, when I'm 40, 45, 50, 60, 70, I hope I'm still not in this mind frame. It's this idea you want to have continuous growth.
Yeah.
And the same thing personally you want to have in your relationship. So I think they just talked about basic things that just we need to be reminded of sometime. So being courteous to each other.
Exactly.
Just being
nice.
Just being nice to each other. And liking each other. And again, I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but really just liking each other, saying please. I think it was Vanessa Bell Calloway who said, I said her whole name, didn't I?
Yeah.
Who married to that black unicorn. When she was like, I turned down jobs and stuff, but when he came home, he had to worry about shit. I said, come on, sis. Ain't no wrong with that old school love sometimes. And y'all out there, even the strongest of the women sometimes will be like, yes, honey, your collard greens is ready. Yes, sweetie, the house smell like pine saw. Did you have a hard day at work, Daddy? Oh, this little piece of coin for me. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you. I'm going to put this in my bag.
My other bag you bought me last week. That's how I sound like Vanessa was living. I said, sis, they don't make them like that. But I thought that was interesting. Also, this idea of rules to engagement, in that you have to have these rules of engagement with the relationship, and there's something that has to be revisited, monthly, yearly, daily, and it has to be clear on what these rules to engagement was. Like some of the basic ones they talk about was, the idea of how often do you have sex. Like one of the couples was like, the rule is to have sex twice a week. And we both know this. Now, if it happened more, good. If it happened less, we know we got to check in.
Right.
We got to touch base. We got to look each other in the eye to say, this didn't happen this week. We good? Do we agree why this didn't happen? Are we in a good space?
Right.
Are we not in a good space? Okay, we got to make up. So we only had it once this week. We need to have it 3 times next week because we believe in averages.
Right.
So I thought that was unique. But I think that's across the board, touching base on rules to engagement. What you think, Niram? Do we got some rules to engagement?
Yeah, I think one of the rules to engagement that Naomi have is Niram takes out the trash.
Okay, why do you always do that? It's more than that.
No, but I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I do think, those are some constructs or rules that we have. Like, I think one of our rules of engagement is that we greet each other whenever we leave and come out the house and come back in. I think that's a rule. I think, one rule that we try our best to do is, not going to bed angry at each other.
Yeah,
I
we
think
was up late last night.
Fucking 3 a.m.
Niram was tip-tapping on my nerves, and we just had to flesh it out.
Ditto. Naomi was tip-tapping on my nerves, too. And I think, it's those type of things that, I think that the old heads used to say, like, don't go to bed angry. Tell your partner you love each other.
Yes.
Be nice, be kind, be friends, enjoy time around each other. Yeah. Make sure you're whole first before you go into this community relationship. Know that, you're dating a movie, not a snapshot.
Yes. Know that your partner's changing and evolving all the time.
Yes.
And then I think it was Tia Tamera, her husband, that said they're partners in crime.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like, you have to be your partner's ride or die. And you have to be willing to tell them everything, the good and bad. So I took that as that's when you tell your partner everything, the good and the bad. So you got to tell them what a body's his head. So when they put me on trial, I learned, look, I can't testify against you. Do you know, you have to be able to tell this person every freaking thing. And what I've seen sometimes in relationships is where communication completely breaks down. Like, I can imagine what it is to be in a household where people don't speak to each other more than like 3-4 hours. Do you know, like, I understand where it's like, hey, we just had it all out. You go to your room. I'm going. We both on timeout. I get that, right?
Yeah.
But it's couples who go days and weeks
without talking.
What the hell? In your own house?
Erica and Warren. How she was talking about.
I don't even know what
that was. She was working on this album. And then, you know, she go back and look at the text message, and I guess like 4 or 5 months has went by. And like, and there was like no communication.
How?
No interaction.
How? Or people say things like, I'm not happy. Okay. Look, I'm Jay-Z. Jay-Z done gave me the line of century. Okay.
Okay.
What
does that mean?
What does that mean? Can we go to counseling? Can we go to the church? Can we go somewhere? Like, even if can we just go to church? Can we just get some good energy in here? Can we get a pastor put some oil on us? Like, what? I just don't. And I think that's something I've been very privileged to and lucky to, that all the relationships that I've been exposed to, if they did it very well. I've never remember from my childhood memories, my parents never talking. I don't remember them having arguments, but I've never remember them being like, I'm not talking to that nigga. And I'm saying it because that's how my mom would say it. I've never, or my dad, like, I'm not speaking.
Yes.
I've never seen that happen. I've never seen them, like I said, maybe a few hours, enough to watch a Lifetime movie. But I don't even know what that is. Even my grandparents, you know, they old school. I've never seen my granddad be like, no, I'm done talking.
Well, I have.
My granddad?
No, not your parents, not your people. I'm talking about my people.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that. I done seen cussing outs. The old school. Shout out to Carmine. I done seen a cuss out match. But even with that, like at the end of it, you like, damn. But 3 hours later, they sitting at the table passing the cornbread and collard greens like they ain't had no argument. I said, oh, we don't work through it. What you...
And I've seen complete
and then give
opposite.
a hug and kiss that night talking about I love you.
I've seen complete opposite.
I said, what the hell? So I think I've just been in a space where I wouldn't even know how to navigate in a relationship. If my partner or you came to me like, I'm done talking. I'd be like, oh, for an hour? What? Are you sick? Like, I just couldn't even, that would have to be a rule of engagement for me. It would not work for me. But you say you seen the opposite?
Yeah. My parents. You know, my father worked at the plant. So, you know, whenever they had these big blowouts, he'd just be at the plant for 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and just work and just immerse himself in the work. And then, you know, next thing you know, like, oh shit, it's a month would go by. Where my daddy at?
What?
Yeah.
What'd your mom say?
Her ass was working too.
Yeah.
And like both of them are just working. And then next thing you know, in a month, like everything be good. Like what?
Well, how did that shape what you thought an argument's supposed to be?
Well, you know, I think for me, when it comes to arguments and things of that sort, I'm a lot in my head. So most of the conversation that's happening in my head than versus out loud and things of that sort. And then sometimes it's just hard to verbalize what's happening in my head to actually put it in words.
So is it hard to talk with me? Because I don't like to.
Yep.
We see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did that surprise you? Our first argument, did it surprise you how much I wanted to talk about it or what you think?
Yeah, you know, at a point it annoyed me because it's like she just want to just keep talking. Like I wish she just shut up.
Ooh.
Like I just want to.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't say that. That wouldn't have went well.
You know, in my head I was like, I wish she'd just be quiet. Like I just want to fume and be
mad, be
in my feelings.
Oh my God!
But instead, Naomi like, let's talk. What's wrong? And then, you know, Naomi, she gets in this thing where she just keep probing and asking all these goddamn questions and just gets so irritating and annoying.
It's not irritating. It's having a conversation.
It's more like an interrogation.
Because you don't ask me no question. Who problem was that?
It's more like an interrogation.
So I just thought that was interesting. And also the idea of picking your battles that came up. I agree. There's some things that Niram do, although he think I nitpick everything. It's some stuff I let roll off my back clean. Like, ooh, I'm going to let that roll. I'm going to let that slide. And I've actually applied that to all aspects of my life. I'm very big on picking my battles, especially now in the last like 6 months to a year. Like I'm huge on picking, you know, battles I engage with on people. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Like folks will say something, be it at work or my friends will say something. I just like, oh, okay. Look, Jason, okay.
Okay.
Like it's just not worth. That's that checkbox again. It's just not worth my energy.
But I get
to
it.
Get
like,
upset about.
Some people don't get that though, because some people would rather argue up and down.
Yeah.
Until they know they right and they want you to confess that you're like, oh yes, you're right. Like I'm so wrong.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it's just not worth going through it. Like when you look at the scheme of things, like the time and influence. I mean, time and the time that it took to actually go through the argument and wear that person down to get them to say that you was right and they was wrong. Like, you could have did something else with it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that, when you are, going through a committed relationship or work or whatever, sometimes you just get like, okay. And just knowing your heart and head, like, all right, they wrong, but I'm not going down that road. Yeah. They'll find out on themselves, but this is something that I just don't have time for. And I think that's one of my biggest superpowers when it comes to that. Because I'd be like, I'm not arguing with you. Okay.
Yeah. I'm getting out where even little stuff, like stuff that happened at work. And I'm like, they're like, Naomi, can you make SY and do this? I'm like, sure. And now I ask them, I said, can you do this? And they'll say something. I'm like, okay. They're like, no, just get done. I said, no, they said they couldn't do it.
No.
And they be looking at me like, what? I'm like, I just couldn't.
It didn't get done.
Yeah. Next.
It didn't get done.
Oh, this is done though. Or maybe it's the idea of prioritizing too. Prioritizing and going there first. And the idea of being the girlfriend or boyfriend. I think that's something that's also not talked about enough. Like, it's a difference between being a wife, being a fiance, and being a boyfriend and girlfriend. I think those are all special stages in a relationship. And I think that you should always come back to being that boyfriend and girlfriend because it's different.
I agree.
Dating is different.
Even, with us going 12 years together and being together, sometimes you just got to court. You got to court Nyambi and take her out on a date and do things that give them the same feelings as if, we're first dating, even though, these years just went by. And I think that's very important.
I told you my greatest fear is for Niram. I'd be home with the children and the dog and the goldfish and the vegan chili on the stove, and I see Niram sitting outside in the driveway and coming in the house. I'm like, is you coming in? It's like he talking with the Lord to ask to give him strength to come in the house. I don't want that.
You don't want that.
Even on the roughest days, I want you to be like, yeah, they're my people. Let me go up in here. It's going to be fun. I'm tired as fuck, but it's going to be lit. I always want you to have that in the back of your mind. My biggest fear is for you to sit I think it's most disrespectful when you just sit in the driveway. Or be a little bit late at work unnecessarily. You be dragging your feet. I don't want it to come to that point. And I think the way that you save that is to make sure you always make time to be their boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah. Even if you can't afford it, there's ways to do it on the cheap. I know the folks out there with the new children. This is when you got to go into your village.
Yeah. And say, hey, I need you to watch Ray Ray ass so I can
even
get it
if it's
in
for
my
an hour. Even if it's for an hour. Like, this is when you have to dig down and let your village or your other folks or somebody step in. Or if you don't got a village, you're going to have to make some late night, early morning step in. You're going to have to do some midday. Something going to have to give. Because eventually, little Ray Ray Jr. and them going to grow up. And they going to leave. And they going to have their own love. And then you're going to look up and look at your partner and not going to know who the fuck that is across. You're going to say, who the fuck is that in this house? There's a stranger in my house. Shout out to Tamia.
There's a stranger.
Come on, Neil. Come on. Keep your business to yourself. That was another one.
Yeah. Everybody ain't got to know all the good, bad, and ugly.
Exactly. But yeah, that was good. I just really enjoyed this episode. Do we got any other pillow talk? Actually, yes. Briefly, before we go into kitchen table talk. What the hell is that commercial with Cher and Future? Did you see that with the Gap? What the fuck was they talking? Was they high?
I don't know what the fuck that was.
It was like, and then Cher was yodeling. Did y'all see that? It was with the Gap. I was like, what type of crossover gentrification bullshit is this?
I don't know what the hell that was. It was something.
I had to watch it twice. They got 2 views from me.
That's why I got like 4 million views.
Because people didn't know what the fuck it was.
Like, what was the first time?
It was almost like they were trying to brainwash me. I feel like I need to watch it backwards to see what they were saying.
To see where the message was at.
Like, what was the message here?
By Gap, I guess.
And the thing is, I like Future. I like his mumble rap. He a good turn up. And Cher, she an OG in the game. I shout out to her from wearing with them booty cutouts. Like, I can rock with Cher. But together, what the hell was they doing? And what that got to do with Gap? Did you see it?
I seen it, baby.
What you thought?
I was confused. I'm still confused. It was.
What type of witchcraft?
It was mind-boggling. I don't know if I want my 3 minutes back of life.
Who was the producers on it? like I said, is there a way to listen to it backwards and are they getting us to join the cult?
So that's my thing. I want my 3 minutes of life back.
I want it all back because they stole it. It don't make no sense.
In the time frame that I have to think about it, I want all that back.
Jesus. You got any other? I know we talked a lot about the love dog. You got any other pillow talk you want to talk about on the kitchen table?
Let's go straight to kitchen table.
All right then. You want me to read that?
Yeah, no, I can read it. So to submit a kitchen table talk, a question for kitchen table talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. This one says, "Hi Nero and Nyambi, I love the podcast. I was in a relationship for like a year, and then my girlfriend cheated on me. But I was completely unaware. We have been together for 3 years, and we are very happy. After 2 years, After 2 years, that guy.
After 2 years, the guy she cheated with sent me photographs and texts of him with her. I'm completely shattered. I feel like I've lost my will. It hurts me to know that the person I have loved for 3 years betrayed me. I left her. I'm devastated, but she's begging for me to come back. She says it was just a mistake. What should I do?"
There's a stranger in my house.
Ooh.
Is your living in vain?
So that's what I'm saying of I think this is right in line with when we watched with the Black Love doc, right? So I think you can move through cheating. But let's summarize this letter. So it looks like they've been together for about 3 years, right? And maybe their first year in the relationship, and this is different. The woman cheated on him.
Yeah.
And he was unaware, but it sounds like, so 2 years later, somebody kept receipts and sent the receipts to him.
Ooh, to
say, "P.S. I had your bitch." But what did Erica say? "I was with someone that didn't belong to me." What she said? What did she say?
Yeah, I was with somebody who didn't belong to me.
Just FYI to clear my conscience. See, this is the shit we be talking about with folks be doing shit to clear their conscience and who it really helping and harming.
Right.
Is this a selfish move here? And so I guess Brussels confronted and they admitted to, yes, they did it. And Brussels left. They were upset. They love each other. But now the sis is begging to come back. Say this is just a mistake. What should you do?
Yeah. Nyambi?
I believe you can work through cheating. I think it's going to be a lot of work. But I think you have to first make sure that both of you want to work through it. So make sure you truly want it. Make sure the other person truly want it. I think counseling is something that's beneficial. I think you have to process this for yourself. So, I'm messy. What type of text and relationship was this?
Was it dick pics?
So was this an emotional affair? Was this a sexual affair? Was it both?
Right.
Did they really love each other? Like, I think all that plays into it when it comes to cheating.
Right.
I think it's important to get to the root of why the cheatation occurred. Cheatation, that's not
cheatation.
Yeah, the incident occurred. I think y'all really gonna have to get to the root of that for you to move on. And like I said, I think you need counseling to work through that. There was actually some good pieces to this in the documentary. So this is also something, I thank you for sharing this with me, but I recommend you keep your business to yourself. So, if you got, and when I mean keep your business to yourself, I don't mean don't tell anyone, right? So if you have a close friend or close friends, and not only close friends who understand. So I don't know if this is something you go tell folks who ain't in committed relationship, ain't married, because they wouldn't understand it. But if you have that type of sounding board, you should go to. But is this something you should go shout from the rooftops like Tina and Teddy did? I wouldn't recommend that. I think you have to heal and go through that space before you invite other people into that realm. What else do you think, Nero? I think I'm just thinking of like the 3 L's that guy said in the book.
The 4 L's. I think it was love, like each other, laughter, and lust.
Yeah. Do you have those?
Do you have those? I think one of the things that Sis Brother Cuz probably need to do, you need to go to counseling. Yeah. If this, first you need to figure out if the cheating for him is a deal breaker. And if it's not.
Personally.
Yeah. I think because for some people,
men is all. It ain't for some people, men.
No, I think it can go either way. But I think for some people that when a person cheats, it's a deal breaker and they feel like it's over. So you need to figure out if it's over. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this infidelity, it's a deal breaker for you? And if it is, move on. tell them have a nice life or whatever. But if it ain't, yes, you need to go through the process of rebuilding. So that means going to counseling. That means addressing why she cheated, and figuring and getting down to the nitty gritty of, what about you or what about your actions made her want to cheat and want to step out on you.
You think I don't think you didn't make them.
No,
I think they could be influenced.
Well,
it ain't make them.
It's two sides of the story. I feel like, there's a reason why the person did it. And and I think you need to figure out what that reason was. And,
But that person could have came to them before they fucked around.
They probably could.
Like I said, I think it's influenced, but I don't think that person made them do anything. It was a conscious decision on the cheater to cheat. I think the actions can be influenced by what's going on at home. Yes, but the person cheated. You grown. You made the decision.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Own that.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the things you need to figure out is get down to the nitty gritty to figure out, what about your actions influence the person to cheat on you,
and break down everything that you thought your relationship was before.
Yeah.
So I think your foundation, the house, the core, expectations, everything needs to be completely tore down and rebuilt up from scratch based on those 4 L's. So love, actually liking each other, laughter, and lust. Like all that needs to be tore down so it can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
So you can hopefully grow old with each other eventually.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the true question is, Russ, cuz what do you want? And once you figure out what you want, be willing to put in the time it took. So what did we learn in the Black Love Dog? They cheated for about a year. They've been together 3 years. So this is going to be a 3-year process.
Yeah. And are you willing
to get back to zero?
To get back to zero. And are you willing to go through that?
Are you willing to go back through that? Take 3 years to go back to zero, go back to neutral ground. That's the question. Mm-hmm. That's a good episode.
It was.
Yes. So as always, to submit your Black Love stories, go to blacklovematters.com/love story. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. And to leave a comment about anything we talked about today, feel free to do that on the website, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all forms of social media. You can find us at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black Love Matters with no K. Or leave us a voicemail at 508-784-1111. Again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. And remember, love is ever evolving. Peace. Happy Monday.